Hey everyone. Over the last number of months, well, actually since March 22nd, we have been worshiping online. So we've been watching our worship services in our living rooms or in our basements or in our homes. And we've been watching them on our TVs or our phones or our tablets or our computers. And over the last number of months, this is a view that many of you have gotten used to. Recording the Lord's Supper or recording children's moments here in my living room. And so what I wanted to do today was to give an update for where we are as a congregation as far as moving towards offering in-person worship, for us to be able to gather together in our building to praise God. The renovations are at a point now where we're able to make this plan. And so what we are planning is to gather together for our first in-person worship service on November 15th. And then we will continue to offer in-person worship services from that day forward as long as public health restrictions allow us to. We will be communicating a little bit more over the next couple of weeks about some of the restrictions and just what those services will look like. But we wanted to get this date out to all of you so that we can be prepared and we can get ready to celebrate God's goodness and to worship together. One aspect of in-person worship services that we'll all have to be aware of is that we will be required to register online ahead of time just to make sure that we go in line with the public health restrictions. With the size of our worship center, we are allowed about 85 people, and so that's what we will be initially limiting our worship services to. And so we'll ask, the link will go out next week, and we'll ask that everyone who's planning to come would register ahead of time. And we just want to make sure that that system is working as well before we get that out. But we'll have people pre-register for these services, and yeah, that way we can be sure that we stay in line with the public health restrictions for our size of worship space. In the next week and leading up to November 15th, we will communicate a little bit more about the self-assessment that will have to be done, about some of the restrictions that will be in place in the building. And in the week leading up to November 15th, we're going to release a video just walking us through what it looks like or what it will look like to come to a worship service and to come into the building, and just how that process will go so that we can kind of orient ourselves before the first service that we meet in person. So those are some things to look forward to, but we want to communicate that on November 15th, we are planning to offer our first in-person worship service. Now, for those who are not ready to come to worship in person just yet, I want to assure you that we will be continuing to offer online services. They will be released on YouTube on Sunday mornings, and so that will be a way that we can still worship together, whether we're in person or in our homes, that we'll be still participating in the same worship service. And we hope in the coming weeks, as things kind of come together with the renovation and getting everything set up and just figuring out some of the equipment, that we will be able to record the worship service on a Sunday morning and have that go to YouTube in a very timely manner, so that whether we were in person or whether we are worshiping at home, that we get to participate fully in the same worship service. And so we're working towards some of those things, and we'll get there in the coming days. But we'll ask for a little bit of patience as we kind of iron some of these things out, and as we figure out how this will all look. But on November 15th, we'll have the opportunity to gather together in person for worship, to praise our God. And we look forward to seeing all of us who are able to come. We look forward to seeing you all there. And we look forward to continue worshiping together as a congregation in our homes and in our building in the coming days and weeks and months ahead. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me or to contact a member of the Reopening Task Force, so that we can help address either your concerns or questions, and we will do our best to deal with them in a very timely manner.